Hi, I'm Dave from Sunfrog. Today I'm going to show you how to clean a deck and get it ready for sealing. You're going to need 5 things. You're going to need a great deck brush, something that's going to fit in the bucket. You can throw your sealer on the deck, something that's got a good stiff bristle and scrubs really well. You're going to need our deck cleaner. Okay, this is an alkaline cleaner. It does a great job of getting our sealer off the wood. It's not a stripper. If you've got other products with acrylics or urethanes in them, hard shiny finishes, you're probably going to have to use a stripper. One of the nice things about using our product, and this was done 2 years ago, a second coat was put on a year ago, we're going to take them both off today, is that you don't have to use strippers and you usually don't have to sand afterwards. After we clean the deck and rinse, we're going to use our Born Again. This is a brightener to re-brighten the wood, reverse the darkening of the wood that takes place over time and from exposure to cleaners so that the wood looks fresh again. We're going to then rinse it, let the deck dry, and I'm going to come back in a couple days. We're going to seal it, and you'll see how you can go from a good looking deck for 2 years old to a great looking deck and ready to go again. Lastly, when we do seal, you're going to need a stain pad. Put this on the end of the pole, makes the job go really well and really fast. These do a great job. They're well worth the $10 you have to pay for them. We're not going to use a pressure washer today. In most situations, you can use regular household pressure with a good stream nozzle. You can pressure wash. Does a little better job on the rinse phase, or faster job anyway, but you have to be careful not to chew up your wood by getting too close with the pressure. Now this deck was done 2 years ago, and at the same time basically this roof structure was done, and this roof structure is great. Decks take a lot more exposure, standing water, full day overhead sun, not glancing blows, and pretty much anything you use on exterior wood is going to have to be redone at least every 2 years to 3 years on horizontal surfaces, whereas vertical surfaces will last. This will last 5 years, these pillars. The underside of the ceiling will last for 30 years. So I'm going to get started here. You want to wet down your deck first so that you're adding cleaner to a wet deck. That way the cleaner doesn't just soak right into the wood. So after adding the cleaner, you just plunge it to dissolve all the detergents. And these brushes are great because you can just kind of throw the cleaner out on the deck. And then we actually should let it sit about 2 to 3 minutes. So that gives us an opportunity to get the cleaner on the deck. So now we're going to come over and brush, adding a little more cleaner as we go. You see the sludge breaking here? This is the old sealer. We're going to leave this cleaner on and come back and do a light second brushing, because the first brushing kind of breaks the surface and allows the cleaner to get down below. So we're going to put the Born Again on. See the brightening here? And then I'm going to lightly brush, just to move it about so that it brightens everywhere. Okay, we cleaned this deck. It's ready to put our Born Again on. We just rinsed it real well, so you're seeing the colors of the wood. The sealer's gone. I'm going to put the Born Again. I'm only going to put 1/2 gallon of Born Again in about 1.5 gallons of water. And this is going to brighten the deck. That's about right there. Okay. The Born Again is reversing the darkening of the tannins in the cedar. They darkened on exposure to the higher pH of the cleaner in part, and we're turning the browns to golds and reds. It just helps the deck look a lot fresher when you finally put your sealer on it. Okay, so we put Born Again on the deck. Notice how bright it is and colorful. You want to rinse it real well. We're just going to rinse it real well. If you had plants around the garden, you would rinse the garden. It is a low pH, about 5, so it'll burn the plants if you don't rinse afterwards. But, and this, remember, isn't going into the lake, so that's good. But doesn't the deck look beautiful? It's going to look this good when it's sealed, too. And that's really a little bit of work, but we didn't use a pressure washer. The wood is in great shape. Beautiful. It's going to look great when it's sealed. Really good. Okay. Hi, this is Dave again. I'm back on the deck that we cleaned 3 or 4 days ago. We've had dry weather in between then and now. You want your wood to be as dry as possible so that it's as thirsty for the liquids of the sealer as possible, so that the sealer gets as deep into the wood and saturates the first 100th or 200th of an inch of the wood. We don't make a sealer that is intended to dry on top like a varnish. Those always fail, flake, wear off. Most importantly, they're really hard to clean and redo. One of the nice things about our product is it is easy if you do it right the first time. It is easy subsequently, a year or 2 from now, to clean it and redo it. It's just like a pair of leather shoes. You brush them off or you clean them, then you re-oil them, you buff them up, and they look brand new again. So I've already put 2 gallons of sealer in a bucket. We're using our mahogany tone here. This is a stain pad. These really give you great control. They won't spin up against the glass in this case or against the house in another case. They make the product go the furthest. Doesn't spin a lot down in between the boards, but it does a great job in getting the product on the wood. You want to do 2 or 3 boards, the length of the boards, and work your way off the deck. You don't want a checkerboard because where you overlap, you'll possibly see a double coat. These drips are fine. We want to put it on heavy. We want to put it on good and wet so that the wood has something to drink up. We will do the other side of the glass divider separately. Okay, so these stain pads do a real judicious job, and they really work the product into the wood. They don't leave a lot of excess. And you do 3 or 4 boards, the length of the boards. You can also, if it really soaks in, you can also, come back and give it a little bit more here and there. We're going to rag this deck down after about an hour of dry time to pick up what didn't get in. But the nice thing about doing it this way is that you're not leaving that much up on top that you're going to have to rag off, because what was up as a liquid is going to soak in anyway. Okay, it's been about an hour, hour and a half since I put the sealer on. Now the idea is to just get a couple towels down. You can launder these towels later, but obviously these are white towels that are going to be destroyed. But put a couple towels down, and then we just pick up what didn't get in. Just slide a little bit and it dries the surface, so the deck's going to dry faster. It's going to look better. It's going to weather better because nothing was left on top to weather badly. And a year or two from now, when it's time to redo the deck, it's going to be easy to clean and redo. So those 4 things, especially the last thing, are real important. This last phase just removes anything that didn't get in.